intro already, you unprofessional fuck. You've been recording for ages.
We haven't really. Like, it's a couple of seconds. You've been chatting shit
Look,
for the last
look at
hour.
fucking Jesus down there praising the God. What the fuck are you doing?
He's waiting to do an edit point. It's either that or
What?
he's I think he's Randy Orton at circa 2007. Like, look at him there, burning his own light.
Like fucking Jared Leto.
Yeah, fairness. Anyway, hello everybody, and welcome back to the Game Gallery here on the Nerds of Rust channel.
Hi, Jonathan.
Hi, Dennis. Hello.
Hi, I'm Foxy.
Foxy's here as well, and so is half the neighborhood. Dennis has just woken up,
And you just heard the lengths of Foxy's promo skills. Hi, I'm Foxy. Watch me be over.
without even trying. So
I have no concept of timekeeping whatsoever.
Yeah, that's very true.
Just ask Cody. Anyway, so as we alluded to in our last edition, when we watched Shadow of Memories, Dennis's favorite game, we're changing the tack and we're going into the future outright with this a game that Hideo Kojima's backlog. And what you learn is it's probably a good thing is this one stayed in Japan, but this is a fan translation of one of his pet projects.
Racist.
And I have coined Lethal Weapon in Space. So lads, are you ready to jump in and see what Policenauts is all about?
Racist.
Right.
All right then. So we're all going to press play in 3 seconds. 3,
3,
2,
1.
play.
Done.
There you go.
Memories. The PlayStation fucking startup.
Yeah. Just like old times. So yes, Policenauts is a game. It's a visual novel for all intents and purposes, but it does have shooting gallery segments as its part of its gameplay. Now, the one thing to kind of get your head across is that it's very much like visual novel, like up the wazoo. So there's a lot of reading involved. There's a bit of voice acting from some fantastic, actually, voice actors, all in Japanese. But like I said, it was a fans translation project about 15, 20 years ago to basically translate the entire game from start to finish. So this is the version that we're watching tonight. So I did try to play this game. I have played this game before, but basically a series of emulation issues and control issues meant I couldn't do it for this series. So we're watching a playthrough courtesy of Nintendo Complete. So thank you very much for allowing us. Well, not intentionally, but we're going to use your work in vain here. So
Well, link will be down below, so you can go check out.
You can watch along yourselves. Exactly.
I fucking love that tune.
Yep, that is that at the time was the Konami jingle.
Wait, there's sound?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why do I have no sound?
We don't have any
listening to
sound.
it. You probably have it muted.
Don't have it muted.
Do you know?
No. That's
So-
very odd.
But yes, that jingle, if you are a fan of the Metal Gear Solid series, you will recognize it as one of the jingles from that game in particular. But the backstory to that was an unofficial Konami theme, particularly from games in Japan. So it doesn't show up all the time, but it was a kind of just a piece of music that he just had in the archives, and Kojima pretty much used it for some of his projects, like Metal Gear Solid and particularly Policenauts, where it's part of the main theme.
It's basically like Nintendo when for some of the Mario games that, depending on what composer was doing it, he would try and fit in a particular tune. Like at some
he has
point
different motifs in that. Yeah, you could argue that was Kojima's motif before he actually kind of found an actual motif, if you know what I mean. You got sound now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
From
this game
Scotland Yard.
has gone through various different iterations. So this game started off on, I want to say, the PC-86, which was a Japanese-only console.
Yeah.
And then it got ported then to the Sega Saturn and finally the PlayStation 1. Where obviously the PlayStation 1 was the kind of like hotcake seller there. So for the PS1 and the Saturn versions themselves, they got the all the cutscenes that were done out in the original version redone by an animation company that I want to say it's AIC. I could be wrong. But but they're known for various different anime like Gundam and Neon Evangelion. So you recognize the style fairly quickly. And it makes sense because this game does have an awful lot of mecha and space attached to it. So they got good casting in terms of the animation, at least. But there's
No.
a little bit of backstory for you before we get stuck into the game. No.
So someone is talking, but like we're not getting any
Oh yeah,
voice.
there was no dubbing there. That was all meant to be muted. So I'll get in there before the intro cutscene does. But we are playing a character called Jonathan Ingram, who is one of 5 police detectives turned astronauts, basically who were retrained and deployed to be the police force on Earth's first space colony called Beyond
Space
Coast.
Force.
Yeah, essentially. Hence the name Policenauts. So what you saw there was basically the accident he had while Beyond was being built, or after it was built, rather, and they were doing some kind of patrol work, essentially. And somebody seemingly sabotaged his unit, his dock there, and he got stranded in space. And what you're seeing here in the cutscene, it was he was rescued 25 years later.
Oh, so they got around to it pretty quick then.
Well, 25 years? It's barely nothing in space.
I do. I love that jingle though.
Yeah. Well, like I said, this serves as the Policenauts theme, so you're actually going to hear the entire song that they've had in the.
It's not as haunting when it has the 80s, but it is cool as fuck.
Well, this has been pitched up, so that's the original theme is actually the end credits. So
You've
as
been
you see, there's
pitched up.
just a bar called Solid Snake. So
Because my first time hearing that jingle was with Metal Gear Solid. And
yeah, that's how everyone hears
Yeah,
it.
of course it was.
I automatically associate it with Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, and you'd be right in saying so. You're right in guessing that.
It's not often you're right, Foxy. This time you were.
Yeah. Yes, I was right. AIC do the cutscenes here in this one. And yeah, this would be so it's very much inspired by like a lot of Kojima's work is very movie oriented. So it's movies he likes, the likes of your Terminators, your Blade Runners. In this case, as I said in the start, this is Lethal Weapon, in all but name, because the character is very much the spitting image of Mel Gibson, and his partner in crime is very clearly Donald Glover. So
Danny Glover, you fucking
Danny
heathen.
Glover, sorry, yeah, I keep getting that mixed up. But yeah,
Why, Jonathan? Because you're racist?
no,
They all look the same? Is that what you're trying to say?
yes, if I
Fucking racist.
yes, Dennis. You do what you need to do, sir.
Cancel him!
You're so desperate to get someone cancelled. It's a bit
Cancel
sad, to be
him.
honest.
His quest continues.
Please.
Not someone.
Just me. Okay.
Prologue.
Petty bitch.
Home.
Yeah, so in this supposed universe, Earth is now renamed home. That's kind of what is going on here.
Lads, I'm not gonna lie. I ate a pile of fucking magic brownies and I am fucking tripping right now.
Oh, it's not going to get any better, man.
They're only really kicking in. I don't believe his real name is Jonathan Ingram.
It is actually Jonathan Ingram, yeah.
Is this why you liked the game? Was this the first time you'd
That's
seen
what
somebody with
I
your
was
name?
about to say.
It's the only game that has my name in it. Although in fairness, actually, Kojima is a fan of the name itself, because in Metal Gear Solid 4, 2 characters as part of, I think it's Meryl's group, the Rat Patrol, they're actually called Jonathan and Ed, and they're named after the 2 main characters in this game. No similarity whatsoever, because the Jonathan in that game is a fucking muscle-bound freak with a mohawk exclamation mark. But nice little connection there, nonetheless.
So he works for a branch called ICOM.
he doesn't work for them as such. He's a private detective essentially.
Yeah, but like
Yeah,
the way it wasn't even like icon, like ICOM. It's
yeah.
ICUM. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, great. Thanks,
Again,
Kojima.
this is where the language barrier is going to come into play because like Kojima is obsessed with his abbreviations and half them don't make any fucking sense.
Uh-huh.
So like the translators have done their darndest to try and get comparisons, but um and also because this is a Kojima game, like everything is going to be explained. This doesn't really come across in the Metal Gear Solid series, but in this game where you have the visual novel format and also in Snatcher, the previous game, everything is explained. And it's very unnatural because like if you ask somebody, oh, what's the food like? And they give you like a chemical breakdown of what it is. Like normal people don't talk like this. Even in space. Even in the enlightened era of fucking 2042, we don't do exposition like this. So
Beretta 92
Yeah.
10 round magazine, armor piercing
Mm.
bullets. I don't
Yep.
care. So I can go around shooting everything.
Well, the whole point is in the future, of course, because it's the future, and there are recoilless guns now. So they're making the point that the Beretta is actually a good old fashioned proper gun, as opposed to the pew pews they have out in space now.
Pew pew.
Mm. And this is also another one as well, where like the cigarettes he's even smoking are like newly like formed cigarettes that they're self-light and all this sort of shit. So
What
it's all
pointless, man? Who the fuck's that?
what's that?
Fuck yeah. Let's not come up with a cure for cancer. We need a cigarette that lights itself.
Yeah, the whole
That
point
should be our priority.
hilarious enough they're referred to in the game as bent cigarettes. So what you do is essentially you're supposed to like twist off the top, it like lights the cigarette that way, and then you just go and it just stops, it just snuffs out the flame. It makes no sense, but that's the charm of Kojima because he thinks it makes
A
sense.
Hideo Kojima game that doesn't make sense? Are you crazy?
Oh, buddy, strap yourself in, man. You have no idea where this is going.
Yeah, so I can see why this playthrough took like nearly 11 hours.
Yeah, this is a game that very much it's one of those like slow burner paces. So like it ramps up over the game, and like especially when you're like in the first two acts is probably the longest because you're like exploring everywhere and you're establishing what's going on, and then like acts 3 to 6 are a blur because you're just rattling through the action fairly quickly. So like I said, it's with most action games that's fine. But in a visual novel, you feel it. So you have to kind of grin and bear it for the first, like, say, at least the first half of the game. And then once you're kind of on the ball and you know what's going on, everything else is fine then. It's actually quite a fun playthrough. Which again, the irony of it is that even with all the explaining that Kojima does through the game, you're still left with like 1,000 plot holes that you just fill in the blanks with yourself, essentially.
I think he probably like I wouldn't have been surprised if he purposely put them there so he could go back to it.
I don't think that's what his style is. I think his style is essentially he leaves the holes there for you to fill in yourself. Like if you have an idea of how that plays out, then he kind of is almost inviting you to fill in the blanks, which is almost like it's actually kind of a no-no for writers because like you're kind of taught as it were to fill in every single blank, and like if someone asks the question, you should have an explanation to hand rather than you just go, I don't know, what do you think? And you fill in the blanks that way. So it's a bit of a taboo in some aspects, which is appropriate.
Also insane. So like he has gone and rectified certain things or explained things in a later entry. So
yeah, but that's because he's been made to. That's also the difference.
Yeah.
Like it's like he leaves plot holes everywhere he goes to the extent
but that's why I think that he purposely does it so that people are kind of forcing him to make another one. So he keeps himself in business.
No, it's smart. It's smart. Like I mean, if people are asking questions, then
how does an animated picture look photoshopped?
It's the weird kind of. It's like a faded aspect to it, isn't it?
It's impressive.
I love as well that it's a Polaroid from 2009. That's just really endearing. He predicted it becoming back in the fashion.
Instax, baby. Wait, they weren't in
Yeah.
2009.
No.
Were they? They weren't too far after it, were they?
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
I'm too high for this.
If you're wondering where this is in terms of the Kojima timeline, this would have been made before Metal Gear Solid 1. But after
This
the
is
second
giving
Metal
me
Gear game.
weird, of all the games to make me think of, this is making me think of, I don't know why my hand is doing this, by the way, but it's making me think of, did you ever play, did you ever play, that X-Files
Sir,
FMV?
I know of it. I haven't played. I think I played a bit of it. It's
I
the
played
really
it to
bad one,
death.
isn't it?
I played it to fucking death.
Yeah.
And then I got stuck on one part and could not get past it.
Yeah.
Never cleared it, so I couldn't get past it. I was only a kid.
Mm.
But it's making me think of that the way it's kind of zoomed in. I know obviously it's animated and that one's
Yeah.
uh, video, but it's just how it's kind of close up to the table, having to look at items and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a very very brave thing to do at the start of your game. We have to pretty much click everything for it to proceed. I get it. It's kind of serving as a tutorial, but it's tedious to start off with. But I suppose it's also getting across the point that he literally has nothing else to do bar looking and fucking reminiscing, you know. And also, it's good for his back to establishing what's happened. Why is he here? Why is he not aged in 25 years? That sort of shit, you know.
I bought a new television.
Did you? Well done.
It was a grown
Is
up.
that
It was a
yeah?
grown up television.
Was it? What does it do? Like make fucking pizza? What does it do?
It's
No, I
obscene.
call it grown up television because it's the first fucking television I bought that cost over 1,000 fucking euro.
Oh, fair, yeah.
It's it's
Is it
it's
nice?
sex. It's sex.
Thanks. That's good. Good for you.
Is it worth
Speaking
it?
of sex, that's a very phallic
Symbol.
object.
That is, yeah. That is the colony. That's beyond.
That is an
That's
artist rendition of Foxy's penis. Completely retractable. Little known fact about Foxy, he can completely, it looks like a second belly button.
Hmm.
Completely retractable when he needs it to be.
Is
It's
there
a
any reason
rare
why
known fact that only, that's why only certain people can be referees. You know those low blows and stuff they go, you rarely see a referee getting affected by that because when they see it coming, retract, zoop, right up.
prehensile?
So
Yeah, makes
I'm a
sense.
fucking sumo wrestler. Like they can retract their fucking stuff
I
because it
mean,
doesn't exist. Do you see the fucking stuff they wear?
do we need to, do we need,
I don't
I
think we
didn't
need
really
to go into
want,
details, do
I
we?
didn't really
No, I
want
think
to
I
get
think
on
we'll,
to the,
yeah, the technicalities of it.
well, Foxy wearing his adult diapers. I didn't want to get into that. There's a reason he can go a whole show without using the bathroom. So if you look next time, folks, if you look at Foxy, just between matches, watch his face. If he gets this kind of face on him, that means he's he's doing it.
What's that called? Not is colostomy bag? No.
Yeah, the colostomy bag.
Well,
Yeah,
it cost me about yeah, but that's more medical. I'm not going to make fun of a medical thing. That's although no diapers medical. Let's
Mm-hmm.
just change the subject.
Yeah. I've given up.
I love that. It's just like you dig yourself into holes like I'm done. I've
Yeah,
done enough
fuck
damage.
it.
Fuck it. Oh dear. But
Nipaba.
this is all still exposition. Basically, explain that as part of his training as an astronaut, Ingram was part of the management to Mars and stuff like this. So it's all just a little bit of backstory and exposition to get you through this opening bit.
Your exposition.
Well, technically speaking, yes.
Oh my God, work you piece of shit. Ah, you fucking bitch.
You right there?
Shut up, you.
What's happening?
2013.
Yeah.
Oh, to have the hope of the 80s.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose like this game was almost working on the premises. What if the space race actually continued and we actually did go into space? That's kind of the elevator pitch, I guess. If you're a Kojima, it's like, what if we actually did have a colony, and it's pretty much an extension of what would have been like 50 years down the line.
Personally, I think you're putting too much faith in Kojima. I think Kojima just went, "This will be fucking mental."
Yeah,
You know?
it's essentially, yeah. But like, I can imagine that's how the concept starts. Or like I said, if it's Kojima's like, I want to make the little weapon.
Yeah.
In space.
Well, I mean, if you had the ability, you'd do that too.
If I had the money, sure, absolutely. And these are the actual Policenauts themselves. So we do get a preamble onto which one is which. Ingram is obviously the one on the left hand side there with the blue hair, and then all the other ones there.
Blip, 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 blip.
I think we already got the names already in the intro, but we now can put a face to them, as it were.
One of these is the assailant. But which one? My money is on the middle.
You think it's Tokugawa? Interesting.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm calling him now. Like,
The real evil looking guy you think is evil. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, you can always spot the villains of the fucking show.
Because I always have to laugh at even the concept of it. It's like, right, we need 5 people that's going to fill a really specific niche, right? They have to be detectives, but they also have to be able to go to space. Whittle it down to a short list of 5. We should have them butcher their paces, get their space legs, and see what happens.
I mean, short list of 5. You're doing well to get 5.
Yeah, around the world, like, yeah. So there's his ex-wife. About 28 years later.